This podcast is brought to you by Fandom Spotlight. Check us out at fandomspotlight.com. Have fun and follow your fandom.
Anime, we have your attention, please, and welcome to another episode of Dragon Ball for Life, where you come for the content, but you stay for the culture. That's right, we talking Goku and Soul Food. We talking about Ichigo with our Ichibos. We them outlaw stars giving you outlaw bars. Saying the good word on all things nerd. As always, we are your hosts, the Fusion Dance Dons, aka the Mongods. I am Bro G, the Prince of All Sayings, Mr. Matthew Porter, aka Matty Ice, here with my counterpart, the Oob to my Majin Buu, my Den Day One, going from the lookout to the cookout, Mr. Pt.2 Trav. Talk to the people, Trav.
You know, you told me you got some new joints for this, and that was, gotta say, you don't disappoint, my brother. But
that's gonna be the new one moving forward for a little bit, till some new stuff pops
easily.
up.
But I mean, y'all know who it is. This kid told Trav, I stay chillin', and I love that women like Krillin. I'm with the guy. I'm also the guy. And if you didn't listen to the last interview, you would know that we didn't get Hakkad. And soon enough, for this reference, you'll know. But in the meantime, when I'm not at work, I smoke some leaves like Naruto. So...
that boy says spoiler warning. He said foreshadowing.
But you know, we ain't gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about part 2 of the Granolah Arc that we're just
granola for dummies.
That we're just gonna be so happy to conclude because, yeah, like revisiting this arc, to be honest with y'all, wasn't it. But anyways, you know, we'll delve into that more of why we were just, you know, overall disappointed. But I've heard that if you read it from, you know, if you're late and you just read it from start to finish, that like it's somewhat better, but like it still drags. But anyways, we conclude this on today's episode, and you know, I'm excited because we're gonna then be covering things real time, but you'll find out about that after in the next episode. But let's talk Granolah.
Like my good brother Trav said, we got something special for y'all coming up very soon. If all things willing, by next week, a week from when you hear this, we should be covering some things for y'all guys real time, and we're very, very excited for that. But yeah, where we last left off, we did a whole episode on it, so I'm not going to recap the recap. But the last thing
last time on Dragon Ball for Life.
Last time on Dragon Ball for Life.
The recap. Go back and listen. But where we ended on the recap for that's the recap. Go back and listen to the last episode, yeah, bitch. But where we left off on the last bits of the recap last week was that they were moving into a flashback with Bardock. We kind of learned this crazy secret. So Granolah, who has been gangbanging on the Saiyan race his whole life. He has had
said,
nothing but
everybody
smoke for them.
Everybody who loves the Saiyan.
He said, "Dirty monkey sounds about right." Frieza was on to something there. That's what he said. Frieza said, whoa, that's my word.
Granolah said
can't
Hitler
say
was
that.
right. Just kidding.
All right, shout outs to our boy Ayers, Jordan Ayers, AOX.
Don't shout him out after that. I don't want people thinking he's affiliated with certain views.
No, that was a Kanye reference.
Yeah.
That was a Kanye.
Yeah, you got to clarify that for the people that don't know.
for the people who don't know, that was a Kanye reference, and our good brother Jordan Ayers is a Kanye stan.
He is not a Hitler stan.
We are not. None of us are Hitler stans.
Absolutely nobody here.
Like Hitler, Frieza, throw them all.
Yeah,
out.
right. Exactly.
Trash them. Cultural genocide. Yuck.
If Hitler was revived and he had a new form, would he resort to Black Hitler? Like, it would go against everything that he
Yeah,
that he established.
he's like, I can't train. He's like, I can't train. Like, he's like, he said, I gotta stay base form.
Yeah,
bro.
he can't get stronger. He might be able to get Super Saiyan since the Aryan
Oh yeah, the blonde
eyes.
hair. That's exactly where he would go.
That's the extent of where he'd
That's
go.
exactly
That's the extent of where he'd go.
He would only go Super Saiyan. The range. Only us could find a way to fit in Hitler references in the anime podcast.
Right.
But we digress.
Anyways.
So do I sound really loud to you?
Nah.
Or are you straight? Am I straight?
Nah, I'm good on mine.
I can't do it.
But Mike,
We'll
you
do
can
it
cut this
live.
out if you want to, or leave it. Whatever.
Nah, we like baby.
Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it.
So
and we'll do it
Granolah
live.
has hated the Saiyan race his whole life because he blames them for the death of his mother, and by
Suck
extension, Frieza. Suck on mother. Me like them things tick. Shout out to Chet Hanks. Where you been at, bro?
What happened to him?
Where you been at, bro?
Yo,
he probably got canceled.
Well, listen,
probably
he went downhill after he dropped that. What was that? White Boy Summer or whatever that.
White Boy Joy,
Yeah,
White Boy. It was like White Boy Summer. I think it was White Boy Summer.
Yeah, like it was like
But
he did too much with that.
But then you saw he cleaned it up, and then he like dropped merch that said like Black Boy Summer, Brown Boy Summer, Black Girl Summer.
But the font was very
suggestive.
Sons of Anarchy type shit. Like it was
Facts,
like
facts.
I don't know. There's a certain demographic that you're catering to with that font, and it's not black folk. But anyways,
Look, if he needs to like a image makeover, holla at your boy. Like, we'll bring you back into the light, brother.
save Chet Hanks.
Hashtag save Chet Hanks.
If y'all couldn't tell by the start of this episode that we are ready to wrap up Granolah.
we're trying to fill time because there's probably only like 5 minutes worth of recap for what's left to talk about.
Honestly,
with 4 minutes of it being this flashback sequence
100%,
for Bardock.
100%.
So to put the train back on the tracks.
Yes.
Granolah hates the Saiyans. He blames them for the death of his mom, by extension Frieza, because Frieza sent them to planet Cereal to cause mayhem and take over the planet, where the heaters would then, charge super buku rent, and then Frieza makes his money.
The block.
It's funny for like as tyrannical as Frieza is, and obviously we learned more about his business through this. We never really see him like make monetary transactions. Like what is he doing with all this money that he's been accruing over like decades and decades of pillaging planets?
And then on the finest wine.
Scrooge McDuck, like he's just like sitting on it. That's where Golden Frieza really wasn't a transformation. It's just all the money melted down, like, just on his skin. It's just armor.
He's like Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos rich, where he just doesn't know what the hell to do with any of his money, so he's just like sitting on it.
yeah, that's exactly.
Listen,
it's just all in like the basement of his ship.
Listen, if tomorrow we see
it,
purple and white on TikTok, it's because Frieza purchased it. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna follow Elon's footsteps and purchase TikTok."
Facts. Super facts. Like, he's gonna buy the color purple.
Right.
Double entendre. Don't ask me.
You try to post a pic from like the Philadelphia Zoo of like monkeys you see, and it's blocked because Frieza doesn't allow anything that has the term monkey, any image of a monkey, anything.
you get slapped with a copyright infringement.
Yeah. you try to show a picture of you reading your kid Curious George, and the book is just automatically blacked out.
Fact. I can't even tailgate with a cooler anymore. He's like, nah, you better put that in a backpack,
Right.
brother.
Planet of the Apes cannot go for a live stream.
Doesn't get played anymore. Like, damn, Mark Wahlberg ain't getting royalties for that film.
Right?
Like, it's crazy out here, bro. Yo, our listeners is like, yo, just tell us what happened.
Yeah, okay.
Tell us
Flashback.
Tell us what happened. Tell us what happened so we don't have to read.
Right, exactly.
So all right. Third and final time. Granolah hates the Saiyans. He blames them for the death of his mother because that is his interpretation of what happened when he was a child, because he did get knocked out. When the church that they were in kind of caved in, he kind of like bonked his head and he didn't see anything that happened and stayed asleep through the whole transaction. And we actually see what happens to his mom. So we open up the flashback sequence with Trav's guy Manito,
My guy.
letting him know like, hey, he's like, And not only aren't all Saiyans that bad, but the only reason you're alive right now is because of a Saiyan named Bardock, who looks just like this Goku character right here. And me and Trav were just having a whole heated discussion off mic about this whole Bardock situation of what's canon and what's not. For those who are familiar, Bardock, the father of Goku, which is one of my favorite OTSs, OSTs. I always get that mixed up, like with their OTAs.
Oh, OVAs.
I'm combining OVAs. I just said all the sports references.
You said PTI.
Bereavement leave.
Yeah,
I just
PTO.
said all this shit that had nothing to do with anything. But yeah, so for those of you who are familiar with the OVAs, the Bardock father Goku, one of the best ones hands down, was pretty much wiped out from the lore. Like, the only part of that movie that remained intact was the final confrontation from Bardock against the Frieza Force, and when Frieza comes up out of his ship and, you know, throws the death ball, blows up, and then, you know, Bardock has like the, oh, my son, that moment. That's the only thing that they kept out of that.
Right.
Everything else was wiped out. We kind of get a brief preview of what Bardock was doing in the new canon, based off the Broly movie, and we kind of know
which was
that
also
instead of
had elements adapted from the Dragon Ball Minus manga, which now has become the, I guess you could, like, canon versus non-canon is like, it's an ever-going debate that's never going to end. But if you're gonna say there's a canon version of Bardock, it's Dragon Ball Minus, because that also
pretty much
includes Gine, the mother of Goku, which, you know, I'm cool with incorporating Gine, but they just like kind of like changed Bardock's character in a sense where he was a little bit softer, and as Matt was saying before we hit record, we were saying about how that just didn't fit what the Saiyan race was. Like, they were all barbaric individuals, and it wasn't until Saiyans met Goku where their line of thinking changed. And obviously, you know, with Vegeta, you know, changing his ways, I'm sure if Nappa survived, he probably would have became a Z fighter. But yeah, it wasn't like
he would have been on TN level. Fuck him.
yeah.
Nappa would have been cannon fodder out here. Like.
He would have been like how Vegeta like sometimes is like the punching bag before Goku comes in. He'd be the punching bag before Vegeta comes in, and then
we'd have been like, "Yo, Nappa, go handle themselves."
Right.
Handle that.
Same with Raditz. If he would have stuck around, he would have been the same way.
But no, Trav, but you made a great point. It's just like, I feel like the thing that we loved about Bardock outside of his bandana, which they fucking took the bandana.
Yo, that was such a dope design.
At least the bloody bandana of his man. Yeah, because it's like, that was like super fire. Like, doesn't he like have it like tied around his arm now? I think, like, if my memory, I could totally be thinking of something else.
I don't think so.
It's just nothing. I thought he had it tied around his arm. I could just be wrong, but yeah, that bloody bandana of his man whose name starts with a T. Can't remember what his name. It was like Tora, something like that.
I'm gonna look it up real quick. Keep going.
But he who was in the movie when they went to that planet where Bardock got his visions, they cut all that out. Now it's just basically more of Bardock just having a bad feeling. But to like what Trav was saying about like the Saiyans' like natural nature and then being a lot more cutthroat and ruthless. One of the things that we loved about Bardock, which like clearly translates to like Goku's temperament, is like he like was super rebellious. Like he was just like, I do what I want when I want to do it. Tell me what to do, I'm gonna do it my way. I'm not gonna do it how you do it. Which is why he would like get sent on like the dummy missions, or why in Bardock Father Goku he was sent basically on a suicide mission, because Frieza was just like, I don't like how much this guy keeps kind of like going against my orders. It was kind of like, yo, Frieza's relationship to the Saiyans is literally Hopper's relationship to the ants in A Bug's Life. Same movie. Like, literally, Bardock Father Goku and Bardock and Bug's Life, same movie. So, but they kind of snatched that away from him, like Trav was saying, and they kind of made him not so much a good old boy, like a toe the line, soldiers follow orders, but kind of, like he still went on the mission that he was sent on. It just more was like, this feels funny, I'm gonna do it, but it feels funny.
And you were close. And it was Tora, Tora.
Tora. Mm-hmm. Yeah, got it. I haven't watched that movie in so long. I'm surprised I got that close.
Hey, look,
I didn't know. So So we get the flashback where we do get more of Bardock being a badass.
Mm-hmm.
And if chronologically, this flashback took place before the flashback in Broly, right?
Yeah, like
or was it like around the same time?
People were speculating that it took place like eerily right before Frieza had called all the Saiyans back to planet Vegeta.
Oh yeah, it's kind of referenced that Bardock's mission on Serial is the mission that he's leaving for in the Broly flashback. Like when he's leaving off world and they're like saying goodbye to Goku and everything.
Yeah, that's what people are like insinuating and speculating because of like
it's not confirmed, but
they're trying to piece things together. And like, I mean, that would make
Toriyama
sense.
Just throwing shit at the wall, see what sticks.
Yo, listen, like Toriyama will create shit and be like, it's up to y'all to figure it out. And then people getting heated debates, and it's just like, y'all, this man doesn't even know what his next arc is going to be like.
So you said Toriyama and Lloyd are the same person. It's fine too, or it's 5-2. We don't know.
it's
the world may never know.
Choose your own adventure.
He said it's whatever you want. He's like, no, when you wrote, we said, no, Lloyd, when you wrote the song, what did you put? He said, it's up for interpretation, baby.
So you wrote something down and then went into the booth.
Right. In the notebook, when you wrote down, what did you say?
I wonder how much like that the original notebook for that song would sell if he like put it up.
If it had like what the original lyric was, millions.
You know what though? He's probably got that in his back pocket where he's like, when he's really in it,
when he's done.
Yeah. He's like, all right, here's the original notebook for the song that has the actual lyrics. I'm gonna put it up.
Facts. He's 1,000%. He's gonna make an OnlyFans for that page.
He's gonna show up to the next page. Rock Nation brunch with a stand, with just the notebook.
Give a speech.
taking the bitters.
It's like that one Wu-Tang album that guy bought. Like the one guy, it's gonna be that. It's gonna be that ripped out page.
Just the page. Yeah, just the page. Not the full notebook, just the page. Just
that page. It's gonna set the world on fire. So part of this flashback, a part that we did kind of breeze past, we kind of referenced it last week, that there's so many fights in this arc that they kind of overdo it. And you know what's bad when me and Trav are bitching about the fights, because that's usually like our pro when chapters are a little bit lackluster, when they leave you wanting. Right. We always like say, oh, the fight was beautiful, it's gonna look great animated. Me and Trav both collectively, as we were reading this in real time, we're both like, bro, I'm getting tired of this.
Yeah.
Like it's getting
like
old.
Even actually, no, you're gonna get to it, so I'll let.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. So what led to why this flashback is important is, we said Granolah made the wish to be the strongest in the universe. They do go engage in fisticuffs. Vegeta, Goku, and Granolah, they all fight. The first fight, I will say, was Chef's Kiss. Like it was very a breath of fresh air to watch Goku and Vegeta get their ass whooped. Yeah. Like it's just, I know that's a crazy thing to say about your two protagonists, but we're so used to the plot protection of these two men that it just gets daunting. Like, and it's so to see Granolah like put in work, and it's cool because it was different than how the Broly fight was. Like Broly was just like raw brute strength, just like, and then he's like learning to fight on the fly, whereas Granolah also was learning to fight on the fly, but he had a very specific set of skills that was akin to his race of people. So he was exercising that, but also kind of like learning to fight with Goku and Vegeta, like feeling out their movements. And then he had all the power, so he like kept getting stronger and stronger. So we get a whole fight sequence from Granolah, Goku, and Vegeta. They fall into the same old trope of you fight him, I fight him, let's jump him. But it actually didn't work this time, which I thought was really cool. Like they tried the you fight him, I fight him, let's jump him. It didn't work. Any way, shape, or form. I had kind of teased at the end of the last episode that we finally give Vegeta his flowers for a very short time, like Toriyama always does, gives Vegeta his moment in the sun, then quickly rips it away. So we all know that Goku has Ultra Instinct. They've kind of have been showing their hand or foretelling that in some way, shape, or form, maybe not directly, maybe indirectly, they're kind of setting Goku and Vegeta on the path of Angel and God of Destruction. Now, whether that is that they like take over for Whis and Beerus, or if they like become the god of destruction for a new universe. Me and Trav kind of have like a pretty cool fan theory that maybe we'll do an episode 4, like, you know, fan cast and fan theories breakdown for it. But Vegeta starts this chapter off to kind of go back, saying that he don't want nothing to do with Ultra Instinct. He has no interest in learning it. He says everything that Ultra Instinct is goes against what a Saiyan is. Like, Saiyans like use their emotion, they use like their battle acumen, like they're supposed to be locked in, where Ultra Instinct is just kind of just letting go, just like be water, my friend. That's basically
which is funny because essentially the way that Beerus is teaching Vegeta in their training is to let go of the sins of the Saiyans of the past that he's holding on to. So,
it's complicated,
right? But you know, it's Dragon Ball. It's not meant for logical thinking.
It is like exactly. When it starts to make sense, then you're like, "Whoa, what's this?"
Right. That's like that's when Toriyama was like, "Yeah, gotcha." Doesn't make sense yet.
He's like, you thought that this was congruent thought thinking. Like,
not quite.
But yeah, so Vegeta actually learns a form of his own called Ultra Ego, which is essentially the opposite of Ultra Instinct. So the cool thing of Ultra Instinct is that you kind of can like evade attacks just without at will. Like, it's kind of just impossible to hit somebody in Ultra Instinct unless you're on that tier of strength. Whereas Ultra Ego, Vegeta's power increases as he takes punishment. He's not immune to the pain, so he is still like, his body is shutting down, but his power level is going up. And if you know Vegeta, he kind of like bull in the china shop, like the brink of death, he's just gonna keep fighting.
Right.
Like, he's John Henry. He's just gonna keep pounding them nails into the rail till his heart gives out. So, and the form looks really cool because he looks kind of like Beerus. Like, his hair goes purple. He loses the eyebrow a la Super Saiyan 3, but it is more like protruding eyebrows, looking like how Beerus looks with like his cat form. He has like the God of Destruction earring that's on that Beerus wears. That's pretty dope. And even his energy is fire. Like, it kind of looks like lava. Like, it's like fire. Right. It's like his ki. Like it's like leaking. Yeah, it's like leaking out of him, and it's kind of fire. It aesthetically, it looks amazing. Like, his eyes are purple. Like, he has like the Ultra Instinct eye where they actually have an iris and a pupil, but it's purple.
What's like the purists of the Dragon Ball community were like, "Oh, this is too fan fiction-y." I don't know. I personally fuck with it. Like, sometimes if you cater to the fan fiction that you've seen over the years, it's kind of, to me, it's kind of dope in a way that, like, oh, okay, y'all sometimes are listening to what the fans are saying and doing.
Yeah, I mean, Cell Max was dead ass fan fiction. Yeah. People been begging for Cell to come back for decades.
And then, real quick, before we go into Vegeta's new form and everything, did we touch upon the other details about the flashback of Bardock fighting Gas?
So that's what I had to preface, because we had missed the part where they had lost the Gas, which made them escape, which is why the flashback became relevant. Okay. So I was just setting that up. So the original fight is Granolah, Goku, Vegeta. You're all good. The original fight is Goku. So remember, Goku and Vegeta got tricked to come to Cereal. They're told that Granolah is this bad guy wreaking havoc all over the planet Cereal. He's holding the people hostage. He's a dictator. Goku, being Goku, just wants to go fight. Vegeta's just like, this is so stupid, but Goku like appeals to his battle nature. Oh, the Oracle Fish woke up. What if this is the strongest in the universe that he was waking up for? Vegeta's like, fuck, you're right, let's go. So they go. Granola's there. He's thinking like, oh, Saiyans, they're alive. Oh, they're here to try to like finish the job off. So he's just like, I'm fighting you guys. You fighting you guys. The whole time me and Trav were like reading this, we're just like, all it would have took was one conversation and that whole fight would have never happened.
Which, you know, when you really think about it, when it comes to most males, a lot of fights that have happened could have been resolved.
That's facts.
By a conversation, but it never got to that.
I'll only counter that by saying this wasn't even like a conversation that needed to happen. If Goku and Vegeta just had said like, hey, we were sent by these two people, Granolah would be like, wait, what the fuck? Like, wait, those are my people. What you mean you were sent by those two people? You know what?
That's so funny you say that, because literally like one, Granolah could have been like, why are you here? And then two, they're like, we're here because of Maki and Oil. Like,
Yeah,
but that just didn't happen, and so
no
so
one
they
says
just
it.
beat the shit out of each other for no reason.
So like me and Trav said, we can only do so much justice to the fights of this arc, and boy are there a lot.
Listen,
of them.
after the flashback, y'all won fights. That's
Yeah.
what, hey, this is your
that's all you're gonna get.
arc. You would think.
If it appears that me and Travis are trying to fill time, it's because there's literally nothing to really talk about in terms of like details of this arc. It's just it's a flashback sequence and like 5 fights.
Yeah.
5 of the same fight.
Yeah.
Not even different fights, like repetitive fights. So just kind of like bull rush through it. Granolah fights Goku and Vegeta. Vegeta unlocks Ultra Ego. They do the I fight him, you fight him, let's jump him. They both lose. There is this really cool part where Goku and Vegeta finally feel like they're getting the best of Granolah, and it turns out that they were actually just fighting a projection of him this whole time.
Right.
Like he had like siphoned off like 10% of his power, and because he's so strong, just his projection of his power created like a physical manifestation, and that projection was like fucking Goku and Vegeta up.
Yeah.
like beating their ass. So when they finally like locate his actual self, his fully powered real self, even more fucks Goku and Vegeta up. But at that point, the Heaters are kind of just like, damn, these two Saiyans aren't doing their job. We need to do something. So part of the Heaters, they are a group of 4 with their secret weapon being this little small munchkin guy called Gas. And this whole arc, you'll see Gas kind of like be teased as like this big threat. He looks very unassuming.
Doesn't really say much either.
He looks like. He doesn't look like Garlic Jr. He kind of looks like Garlic Jr. He looks like a mix between Garlic Jr. and like a Cell Jr.
And like Kid Buu.
And Kid Buu. Yes. It's like Garlic Jr., Kid Buu, and Cell Jr. like kind of all mashed together. He doesn't speak much, but there's a couple times where it's like foreshadowed that he's like strong as fuck. Like there's a couple times where some people try to like talk fly, and then what's the main Heater dude's name? Like the leader? Elect. He kind of like references like, "Yo, don't make me get my mans," and people kind of like, "Oh shit, yeah, you right." Like our bad.
Yo, my fault.
Our bad. So like we had said in the last episode, once Granolah ends up being so strong, the Heaters kind of call an audible. They was like, damn, we can't let this guy be our way of killing Frieza. He's clearly strong enough to beat Frieza, but there's no way we'll be able to ring him in. We need to send people to go beat him. So now Granolah has beaten their plan to beat him, which is Vegeta and Goku. So they're like, all right, calling an audible again. Idaho, switching it up. So Trav, correct me here if I'm wrong, because I don't remember this part. The Dragon Balls on Planet Cereal, they reload fast as shit, right? Like he went back and got them like there's within like this arc.
Yeah, at least they didn't say they don't have like the same 1 year limitation that the Earth Dragon Balls have, where like after you use them, you have to wait a year before you can use them again. Yeah. These Dragon Balls don't have that same limitation.
Yeah. So we all know with Dragon Ball, like the sense of time is never really explained. Like it could be like the whole Buu saga took place in like 2 days. It's a very shitty 2 days. For
and wasn't like the Goku and Frieza fight like real time supposed to be like 5 minutes?
Like 5 minutes, yeah. So in the manga, it's kind of hard to gauge between like travel from Earth to Cereal to when Granolah made the wish, but it didn't take long for the Dragon Balls to hit the reset. So Elect goes and finds the Dragon Balls, the 2, because you only need 2 on Cereal, and he makes the same exact wish that Granolah made for Gas. How he knew the parameters of said wish that he wasn't there for, and how to ask for it in the appropriate way to get the same exact results, I'll never know. but he somehow knew.
Maybe off screen when they went to Zuno, he asked. But
yeah, but they had referenced that Gas, who looks like a child, that's kind of like he kind of was stunted into this kid form. They don't really go into detail as to how he kind of got into that kid form.
They don't really give much background about the Heaters in general, which they could have cut out a lot.
And they're one of the cooler things of the art. Like they
really could have cut out
some backstory,
a shit ton of the fights, and dedicated that time to giving more background of the Heaters, especially if like you're talking about a group that's been essentially a partner of Frieza
the whole time.
This whole time, you would think the whole time. I'd like to know more about like I would and maybe they'll do it in the anime, but like that'd be so cool if like you could see flashbacks of them interacting with like Dodoria, Zarbon, like
yeah, I was about to say like show how they've been around this whole time. That would be fire.
So like
that would be fire.
But it is what it is. It's out now, so hopefully.
Just come get us, Toriyama. Just come get us. We got
man.
You.
Like people, like fans want, like when you give us a little, like a little tease of the lore, we like that. We like that.
You know what? You know what's funny? Because it's like I feel like animes and mangas like Dragon Ball or like Naruto when it first started, or like One Piece, because they're like combat animes. And like when they first started, there wasn't really much by way of like character development or like plot. I feel like the makers of these properties just assume that we just want fights. Like we don't care about like story or development or character.
Which is
arcs.
so funny.
And it's like, no, we want all of that.
Because to be honest, like all of Dragon Ball's fans are people that started to watch it when they were younger and now adults. So, which is so funny because it's like, the one of the big reasons why, or probably one of the main reasons why there's not a lot of blood, because it's at a kids TV show time slot. And
man, I miss the eye blood.
Yeah,
like when they get beat up real bad and they had the eye blood.
And I don't know if in Japan, if like from a business standpoint they're doing that because that's when the most viewers will watch it. But right. I think that if that, because
wasn't Super like a Saturday morning?
Yeah,
like in Japan,
it's Saturday or Sunday in the morning. But regardless, it's in a kid slot, and
yeah.
But like, I just don't think that like the idea of okay, we think we're gonna bring in more new fans, so we're gonna put in this kid slot versus like the Dragon Ball community is so vast that. And maybe this is just me being ignorant and not knowing what the streaming numbers are in Japan. But if you had it in a primetime spot that most adults are watching it, plus they're giving you the leeway to have it, more blood. But also too, if like, you want to cater to the older audience and to have a little bit more in-depth storytelling, I think you'd have the same exact success that you do
1,000%.
And like and even and like it doesn't, and like we're not asking it for it to be so in depth that like if a kid
right, I'm not asking for a Game of Thrones level story.
No, like you can still have like the stuff that we're talking about. You can still have that in a kid's show, and like even if it is to a point where like the parent might need to explain it a little bit, that's fine. But yeah, it's just like it's so dumbed down and so like just kiddie at times where you're just like if you took a poll of fans who watch Dragon Ball, you would get that they're probably 30 and older or 25 and older. Like
we followed it, like we stayed with it.
So
especially because Dragon Ball in real time came out in like the late 80s. Yeah. Like it like started in like the late 80s until like the early 90s. I think don't quote me on this, I'm sure like the internet police. I think the Majin Buu saga in like real time like was like in like 98. Like it like aired in 98. And then obviously like we didn't get it until like the late 2000s, but that time seems familiar to me. But it's like like you're saying, Trav, like them trying to like pander to like, oh, newer audience, like anime fans are getting younger and younger. I call bullshit because it's like Gundam Wing is a fucking political anime. Yeah, and that came out. That was a kid's show. And like,
you want to hear when?
What were you gonna say?
Oh wait, no, is that? When was the? So I did a quick Google search, and I don't know if this is just from. No, that's for Dragon Ball Z. So. Okay, so all right, so the Majin Buu saga in Japan first aired in 1994, and in the US it first aired in 2001.
So giant gap, and all of those people who started with it stayed with it.
Yeah,
and
we're still staying.
So
it's
just like exactly. So I would be as bold to say as like the majority of Dragon Ball fans are an older audience, especially since there was such a long gap between Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. it's just like there's probably like a whole generation of kids that missed out on all of it, like who like came in on the tail end and they're like catching up now, who are probably still older now.
And then honestly, and then this is the last point on this, since we probably need to just wrap this whole arc up. But the one thing that I do want to say is that if you're a new fan as a kid, it's gonna be hard to follow along because it's not like you're entering Dragon Ball Super and you know it's like brand new. No, like it's a continuation of Z. So like if you're trying to bring in new fans, the best way to do it in terms of like if you're trying to bring in like kid fans is at the end of Z, which is basically the end of Super that we're working towards, where like, you know, you can give like a recap of like things that have happened up to that point if you want, and then just essentially for if you're a kid, just know like, hey, Goku's this age-old, you know, superhero that's stronger than life, and now he's taking in Oob and all these guys, and he's like their master. So like you could bring in new fans that way, but like bringing a new fan like at this point is from as a kid. It's doing numbers in Japan, so maybe I'm just stupid. But
I'm about to say he said it hasn't broke yet, so we're not.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, it's still successful, so I mean, they're not going to change anything. But anyways,
I will say last note on this, like just in terms of like the gore that may or may not be like not so much the Maro arc, but the Granolah arc is very bloody.
Yeah,
so I'd be interested to see if they keep it or throw it out, like when they decide to like turn this into the anime adaptation, because there's a lot of holes being shot through people.
Yeah, and then when Gas is on his last legs, like he's very zombified, and like that's like some of the images
quite
that
graphic.
we saw, I'm like, it's gonna be interesting how they approach this for the anime.
And some of you may be wondering, Trav, how did Gas get zombified? Let's get back to it.
Yeah. So did we finish covering the flashback?
So Gas gets a power up, or he gets like his previously powered self back, and he cleans house. The cool thing about Gas, which becomes not cool very soon because he overuses it, he's a magic user, much like Maro, but differently is he basically can create any object. He's basically a Green Lantern. Not basically. He is a Green Lantern. He can create any physical object with his thought, whether that be axes, machine guns, shields, bricks, boulders, blocks, buildings, other B words to fit the analogy. Like he can do all of that. So, and he uses these skills, particularly he's very akin to javelins and spears. That's kind of like his go-to thing. But he basically cleans house, whoops everybody ass. They escape by the skin of their teeth. Funny enough, now that I said it and I'm thinking about it, it's literally the same thing that happened when Maro whooped Goku and Vegeta's ass the first time. They get the ass whooped, they land face down, they get rescued by a Namekian. That's literally what happens. Goku, Vegeta, and Granolah all get their ass whooped by Gas. They're all laying face down, get saved by a Namekian. He takes them off and has them like all together. Granola's just like, what the fuck, bro? Why would you bring them back to the secret hideout? We don't trust these guys. And that's when Minata like lays the breaking news down to him, like, yo, bro, not only are Saiyans not all bad, but the only reason we're alive right now is because of a Saiyan called Bardock. Goku's just like, why does that name sound familiar? Vegeta's just like, that's your dad, my G, because a lot of the Bardock got uncanonized and then recanonized. And then we get a pretty dope flashback sequence of the mission that Bardock was allegedly on when he left the planet on planet Broly, which is the final mission that new canon Bardock, I guess, was like his Frieza doesn't care about us. He's trying to line us up. All the Saiyans come back to the planet. Oh, this don't feel right type of situation. So the Saiyans are pretty much ravaging and pillaging planet Cereal for the heaters to then charge rent to pay the Frieza, all that good stuff. One of the Saiyans is about to kill young Granolah and his mother, whose name is what? Mosley. And Bardock, I guess he's not really down for killing women and kids, so he pretty much
reminds him of Guinea and Kakarot.
So while they're in the church, Granolah is knocked out. He gets knocked on the head. So that's why he has no recollection of this. Bardock finds them hiding in the church. Some Saiyans are calling out to him like, yo, do you see anything? Bardock thinks about it. He's just like, nah, it's all clear. We're good. And then, Granolah's mom's like, why did you do that? And he's just like, I got to get you guys out of here. While they're trying to get away, that's where they come across Monida. And then during the interaction, we get the big plot twist that the Heaters actually killed Granolah's mom.
Yeah.
Told him it was the Saiyans. They told him that she died in the collapse of the church because he was unconscious for all of this. But really, they shot her through the heart with a pistol.
Yeah, so, what happened in that was, they were ravaging. The civilians were able to shoot down the, I don't know if it was a real moon or artificial moon that had them turn into their Saiyan forms. Did it. They went back down to their base forms. Civilians thought they won. They said, nah, we still stronger than y'all.
We still sturdy.
Boom. Still eliminated the civilians. Bardock was like, saw Granolah and Mosley and was like, damn, I see Gine and Kakarot in you. And then so obviously the Heaters pulled up because what happens is after these planets are destroyed and pillaged, that's when the Heaters come in and act as the saviors to to rebuild the world, but under their terms. And this is where, the Heaters show up, kill Mosley. It's told to Granolah that, actually it was the Saiyans. But in this interaction, though, Bardock is with Mosley and Granolah. And when this happened,
he was trying to hide them.
Yeah, he was trying to hide them. Yeah. When this happens, he tells Monida to take Granolah to safety, which then ensues a fight between Granolah and Gas and Bardock. And during this flashback, going back to real time, obviously Goku and Vegeta, they're listening to a Bardock scouter that Monida still has.
That recorded this whole interaction.
And here's where we get to the point where Matt and I were ranting.
The bullshit.
And we said we're going to save for the podcast. So they get the scouter.
So I'll lead them up. I'll lead them up, Trav, and then you take it.
Throw me the oop.
So I got you. So part of this allure that they've been building around Gas for literally the entirety of this arc is that he is cock diesel strong, to bring back an old reference for all my 90s babies. So one cool thing that I did like about this arc is that, when the Oracle Fish wakes up and says like, oh, the strongest fighter in the universe has finally awakened, they never say who that is. So, it could be Goku, it could be Vegeta. We know Granolah made the wish to become the strongest, but we don't know. We never really get the verbiage like, oh, I want to be the strongest in the universe. He's basically, the dragon's just like, I can bring you to the height of your potential as if you trained for your whole life and you just got to live with what's left over. And then, like I said, they've been teasing that Gas has been like this very strong person who for some reason was subdued by some incident that happened years ago, which is why we're here now, because they were building up this whole thing about, well, damn, how do we beat Gas? He's unbeatable. But they kept referencing that Gas has only lost one fight in his whole life, and it was to Bardock, which us as fans are like, Bardock was a low-level Saiyan. We got two god-tier Saiyans and a guy that just made the wish to be the strongest who couldn't beat him. How the fuck did Bardock beat him? But these three strongest fighters in the universe can't beat him, and we get this tease that they're going to reveal this major secret. And keep in mind, before Trav takes it away, these chapters dropped once a fucking month. So we had to sit on this plot cliffhanger of a, whoa, what's the secret? What are they about to reveal that Bardock knew that we didn't know? Take it away, Trav.
So, I'm like, is Bardock the original Super Saiyan? Is Bardock gonna find some weakness of Gas that Goku and Vegeta and Granolah don't know yet? No.
Is there a new transformation?
No, that's not it, Matthew. It's the same fucking trope that we've been seeing every single arc that Goku exhibits, okay? So look, they're listening, they're like, okay, well, go off, Bardock, tell us.
Right, hold it around with notebooks and pencils, like, all right, what's
Let's
the
hear
secret?
it. All right, Bardock's getting fucked up. There's no end in sight. I mean, there's no light at the end of the tunnel. Bardock, he's about to die. Well, obviously he's not gonna die because he returns to Planet Vegeta and then gets killed by Frieza.
To die.
So, but for this moment, he's not gonna die. So they're trying to figure it out. And he's fighting Gas. He's not winning. And he just, starts thinking about Kakarot, starts thinking about Kine. And you know what? With his back against the wall, he finds the resolve within and just musters up the strength to hit him with a blast and defeat Gas. Now, Matt.
A fucking blast to defeat Gas.
Is that new? Is that something that we has Goku never had his back against the wall, and because he was pushed to his limits, he then found some new strength within that allowed him to defeat his villain? Is that new?
Not only is it not new, Travis, every single fight in the history of Dragon Ball Z ended because whoever the main protagonist was at the point in time found an inner strength to release an almighty ki blast.
That's it.
Every single fight.
That's it. It's like, oh man, I got to think about my loved ones. Oh wow, now I'm gonna have more strength. And they really built that up to be like, listen to the scouter and hear some exclusive shit that you don't know. And you know what? He did know this whole time. Like, and
yo, even Manada was just like, yeah, your dad somehow figured out to meet him. You got to unlock your memories to figure it out.
And then, like, it wasn't even like they listened to that. It was like, oh, now I know how to beat him. They were just like, oh shit, okay, so that's how he beat him, but not necessarily like, oh, that's how to beat him. That's how Bardock won. Yeah. And you know what?
Overpower him. That's it.
That shit got me so tight. I was like, and you know what? I waited for a month for that shit.
A month.
Y'all been treating us great. Y'all been listening to podcasts. Y'all, we love y'all. So you know what? We're not gonna subject you to that because after that flashback,
nothing happened.
They fight for the next 10 chapters.
Oh. Yes. Hold on, sir. To double up. Not only do they fight, it's not one prolonged fight, which would have been a lot, but I would have accepted it. It's fight, lose, fight again, lose, fight again, lose, fight again, finally win.
Yeah, no, legit. and at the end, eventually, as Goku and Vegeta are fighting against Gas, Manito on the side was able to heal Granolah after his multiple beatdowns. Vegeta gave Granolah the last sensu that they had
of his energy. Yeah.
And was it his energy or the sensu that they gave?
I thought it was his energy. I thought he pulled a tournament of power. Let me see if I can actually, because I gotta pull it up.
Pull it up just for the sake of accuracy, because
I got you.
Yeah, y'all might think we're skipping through the fights, but it's literally just they, like Matt said, they fight, they lose, they fight, they lose, they fight, they lose, they fight, they win. Legit. There's the key details that y'all would be looking for. We told you. There's really nothing else to it. And I mean, there is more to it, like the way it ends, which, we will get to very quickly, but it's not like it's anything that's, groundbreaking or any, it did definitely cause a lot of talk amongst the community when it happened, like the ending per se, but the ending, it was cool. I liked it, but it still didn't have it just kind of was inserted at the end. And so, you know what? We're going to get to it. So, they fight, they win, they fight. It
was a sensu bean.
Okay. So they gave Granolah a sensu bean, after, he was knocked out from, fighting Gas. And so
it was a sensu bean that had been dropped mad earlier. In the chapters that Vegeta happened to find.
So he gives it to Granolah. They hold off and try to defeat Gas. They and while they're doing that, Granola's healed. Manito gives them the rundown. Then Granolah charges up a final attack that, you know, ultimately defeats Gas. And they think they're all done. Then zombified Gas pulls up and they're like, he's like, haha, not dead.
Zombie!
Not dead yet. And they're all like, well, fuck, we're out of energy. And then remember how Granolah had a vendetta against Frieza and we just never saw him throughout this whole arc? Like literally, like he was mentioned, we never saw him. Never saw him once. Didn't, not even a cameo. Motherfucker just pulls up at the end. Just pulls up, one-shots Gas. We're like, oh shit, okay, well.
It crushes his skull.
And so like, yeah, one shot, yeah. Puts his the standard Frieza move where, like, you know, back when, like, remember when Future Trunks arrived and his one soldier was scared and he put his hand through his chest, did the same thing with Gas, and then Gas was like still, you know, withering a little bit and he stepped on his skull, which was very graphic for Dragon Ball standards, at least recent Dragon Ball standards. And
to add to it, he one shots Gas in base final form.
Yes.
Frieza. So it's like his true form, but not Golden Frieza, just his standard true
so
form.
He's in,
and just one ki blast.
Yeah, so he's in final form and you see that and you're like, damn, like, was it just because he caught Gas off guard, or like was it just like because final form Frieza is not that strong in comparison to what Gas is. But then you know, they see Frieza and Goku and Vegeta like, fuck, all right, well, and Vegeta said to Goku, yo, I told you this motherfucker's gonna be a problem if we kept him alive. I told you not to bring him back. So they were,
and you know, Goku's like, oh, well, he just helped us. Maybe it's not an issue.
Yeah, and so as that was happening, Minato tried to heal them. They weren't fully healed, but they were healed enough where both Vegeta and Goku were able to go into Ultra Ego and mastered Ultra Instinct. And so we're like, okay, cool. Frieza about to get his ass whipped.
Oh yeah, true format Ultra. I don't. We're
not. Yeah, well, that's
because we'll be here for another 10 minutes.
So,
but Goku apparently unlocks a true form of Ultra Instinct. We'll let y'all read about
exactly.
That.
So they're
dumb.
both in their ultimate forms where it's like, all right, cool, Frieza about to get waxed again. Nope. Frieza said, you know, in my pillaging that I was doing of planets, I found a planet that had a hyperbolic time chamber. Another piece of lore that would be, oh, cool. Was this a planet where the original creators of the time chamber might be living, and that's why you found it?
We had seen another hyperbolic time chamber mentioned in the Maro arc, where Goku and our man, whose name totally slips my mind right now, having a whole brain blank, had trained. Yes,
yeah.
Mirrors.
So there's other ones that exist, but you know, Toriyama might not even, he might forget that Frieza said that. But so Frieza found this and was like, you know, after learning that training gets me stronger, I'm like, all right, cool, I'm gonna go in here. So Frieza trained in that motherfucker for 10 years. 10 years.
It was a 10 year for one day hyperbolic time chamber.
Was it confirmed that was one day? I thought it was just said it was just 10 years, but they didn't say like the equivalency of what those 10 years.
I'm gonna will it into existence.
Regardless, he trained in that time chamber for 10 years, which in real time was probably not. Obviously,
however, not nowhere near 10 years.
Yeah. So, because of that, and because Frieza's a prodigy, he then reveals the newest form of Frieza, which is Black Frieza, in one shot.
Black Air Force Energy Frieza.
Yeah, AF1 Frieza.
AF1 Frieza.
Transforms into the Black Frieza form in one shots. Matt, like, the Ultra Instinct form that we've been seeing built up over all these past 20, 30 chapters.
Such a way.
For him to get one shot, for then Vegeta in this brand new form that he was able to at the time, like, beat up.
He was keeping up with Granolah.
The Granolah, who was the strongest person in the universe.
And Gas.
Yeah.
He was keeping up with Gas for a little bit too.
One shot the two of them with ease. But he didn't kill them because he was just like, you know, I'm going to need y'all for later, whatever his plan is. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, the arc ends with Vegeta saying, you know, oh, I'd love to, you know, spar against you, Granolah, one time. I'm pretty sure they offered for him to come train with them, and he was like, no, I'm going to stay on planet Serial. We don't know.
Yeah, 'cause I don't think he ever says to them that he only has 3 years.
Yeah, and we don't know yet if he's if that's still gonna stand true, or if he's gonna reverse the.
You know they'll figure out.
Yeah, like I just don't like they're too soft. Where like they're just gonna let him die. Like so, I don't see that happening.
Or even if they do let him die, like I'm sure they'll find a way for him Halo'd version to still be a part.
Exactly. And then Whis mentions that they asked, is Frieza the strongest person in the universe that the Oracle Fish had, and we don't get and Whis kind of says he may not be.
Yo, so God's honest Trav, God's honest truth, that one part is the only thing that made this whole thing worthwhile. Yeah. Like the dragging out for this to kind of be like, even though it's like referred to as like the Granolah Arc, it's like the strongest fighter in the universe is like the second title, like the secondary title.
It's the repetitive arc. That's what it is.
That was the one thing that I did like, how they kept bringing in, it's like your default, it's Goku. Oh no, it's this guy who made the wish. Oh no, it's Gas. Oh no, Vegeta got a new form as Vegeta. Oh no, it's definitely Black Frieza. But then for Whis to be like, it could be, or it might be somebody that we haven't even seen before. So just that potential looming specter of like a brand new character who's now about to be entered into the fold, who might be, and maybe Frieza knows who that is, and that's why he was like, I need you guys. Like I'm not gonna kill you.
I need to use you. Love if Frieza was just like, nah, I know you motherfuckers can't pass up a fight, so like that'd be actually kind of cool if Frieza was just like in a strictly
like in his travels he like came across like some really fucking strong person. It was like, oh shit, nah. Squad up.
and or if he's just like, nah, I just enjoy running my business and being rich. What if he was just like, let me train, show them that like this is the type of strength that you'll need to defeat this person, and so that you have like a measuring stick to work up to. So you two Saiyans are gonna get. He probably knows like they'll get strong enough to whatever Frieza is, and then he'll be like, all right, y'all can do my dirty work. Yeah,
you got it.
Like,
you know what, Chad? I think you might have just said a thing, because it's like, for us who know Frieza, we know like lazy but talented, like you said, prodigy. Like he's never had any like want to ever train. Like he did the training in Resurrection F Frieza to get to like Gold Frieza and stuff, but it's just like that was literally for like a couple months he was training while they were going to Earth. I don't see Frieza wanting to train for 10 years for no reason. Right. Like, especially like even though we know it wasn't like an actual 10 years, but it's like, I don't even see him like walking into that hyperbolic time chamber unless he stumbled across someone or something that's like on some otherworldly shit. And he's like, fuck, I can't die again. I'm out of combat.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's legit one of two things. It's either that, like we said, he encountered someone that he's like, nah, I ain't dying again. I'm gonna get the monkeys to do it. I'm gonna get them to do it. Or it's the other fan theory that everyone is like trying to think is gonna happen, where, remember he has always had a desire to eventually overthrow Beerus, and so, but like, that would
crazy
be cool,
crazy,
but I just don't know if like at this point, like he died so many times, if he like if we're thinking from like a logical standpoint, if he's just kind of like, yo, if I just leave Goku and Vegeta alone, I'm cool. Like if you really think about it, like he could really ravage the universe.
That at the end of the Tournament of Power, Goku essentially said, like, as long as you don't draw too much, we won't come.
Right. If you don't touch Earth and nobody comes to us saying like we need help, Frieza can do whatever he wants, really. And Vegeta's like, why would we let someone be roaming free like that? Like,
yeah, Vegeta was just like, oh, why didn't you be like, yeah, psych, we're not bringing you back to life. Go back to hell, bitch.
like Vegeta's like, even though he's not hurting us, he's hurting others. Like, what are we doing here?
Like, people are dying, sir. But you know what would be really cool? Super fan fiction, before we close this out. What if like Cooler was like the person that Frieza was scared of? Like, I think that would kind of be dope. Like a cool way to make him canon. Like, oh shit. Like it's like if Cooler's just kind of always been like a strong presence, like older big brother. And I don't know, maybe he was in hibernation or dormant or like in fucking the outer rim, far as shit. And like Frieza was just like, oh shit, fuck, my brother's here now.
Yeah.
Like,
and like maybe he has like
cool.
a small infantry of fighters where like Frieza's like, yo, I can get a one-on-one with Cooler, but not everybody. So that
I think that'd be
cool.
Because a lot of people, because Cooler's always been one of those like, oh, I really like him characters. Why isn't he canon type of people?
And Toriyama was bringing people back.
Yeah. And then we know Cooler has that form that uncanon Frieza never unlocked, like the masked form and everything. So that'd kind of be cool, or whatever, or at least I'd be cool with it even being Cooler or just being somebody like totally new, like a totally new, which we now see that Toriyama in this new renaissance of Dragon Ball manga, he's willing to create brand new characters, like with Maro and all of Maro's team and Granolah. Whatever his little mask buddy's name is, I forget.
Oatmeal.
Cinnamon. Hey, oatmeal, that's what it was. I knew it was something of a breakfast cereal. but like I said, next week or soon, don't want to like promise anything that we can't keep up to, but we're gonna start covering the superhero manga chapters in real time with you guys. And since we're actually going to be doing it in real time, they're only going to be like once a month. So we'll kind of come up with some funny things to like fun things to fill in the time. Like you said, we might do some fan casting, or maybe if Matt and Trav wrote the Marl arc, how would they have did it? Because we had some pretty dope Granolah arc ideas that we thought were going to happen that didn't happen.
Exactly. So it'll be there.
Maybe we can kind of go over there with you guys. But Trav, do you have any final thoughts on the Granolah arc?
Listen to this podcast and wait for the anime.
I concur.
But if you want to see some cool illustrations, you can read the arc. But as someone who loves to read manga and loves to read the manga, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Y'all can wait for the anime for this one. To be honest with you, unless you desperately want to see Ultra Ego, which is a very cool form. But this isn't a priority.
There are things,
I wouldn't say this is a priority.
Yeah. There are definitely things in this that are awesome to see and to look at. There is some like extension of the universe and lore that is pretty cool. The whole Bardock flashback is pretty dope. Like I said, that initial fight of Goku, Vegeta, and Granolah is pretty.
Once again, cool to start, terrible.
Yeah,
ending.
Terrible finish.
Like, it was cool. I'm like, oh, how did he defeat him? Oh, he just charged up a ki blast from within and was able to defeat him. Oh, sweet. All right, well.
So every play ever.
That's not interesting. He's still a low class Saiyan that got wiped out by Frieza. So
absolutely. But guys, that has been Granolah for Dummies Part 2. That was the entirety of the arc.
And trust us, we didn't miss any important details. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Facts. When you so this episode's clocking in at about an hour. Last week's was probably about like 30 something minutes. So in an hour and a half, more or less, we probably hit everything, probably in over detail than what you did.
20 minutes of that was probably our own tangents that were off. We're off base.
1,000%. So like Trav said, if you want to read it, we can't tell you what to do, but we kind of told you all the shit.
Yeah, if y'all want to read it, it's chapters 67 through 87.
Yep, 20 chapters, or if you were me and Trav, 20 months that you won't get back.
So we're trying to save you the time.
Absolutely, guys. But we promised our super producer Mikey that we are going to get better at telling you guys where to find us, how to find us. So we're going to work on that, and we're going to start right now. So we call you guys the lifers because you quite literally put the life into Dragon Ball for life. And we know that we can't do this without you. So the best way to support the podcast, as well as to stay up to date with all your wants and needs, all things DB4L, is to follow the almighty Linktree link for the DB4L podcast, which can be found in the episode description from this episode and every episode moving forward, as well as on our Instagram and Twitter page with both our DB4L_pod. Again, that is Instagram and Twitter, same handle, DB4L_pod. That is the number 4, not spelled out. I have been Matty Ice. He has been Troto Trav. Like we always say here, whether you watch it or you read it, we all need it. So follow your fandom right back here, and we will see you next time on Dragon Ball Faux life. Dodai. Shout out to super producer Mikey.
We love you, Mikey. Shout out to Yali. We out.
Peace out.
Mortals, listen up. It's your god of destruction, Beerus here. Subscribe and follow the Dragon Ball for Life podcast, or else you shall be erased from existence. Hakai.